What's up, guys? It's Theo here. Welcome back to part 3 of Introduction to ReactJS part 1. So if you watch part 2, for some reason it did not like how I had this if statement set up. It wants a space between the if and then the parentheses. So that's what it is. I'll run it and I will show you guys it does indeed work. Because before, even though I had the right logic in there, it just was not liking sort of the syntax of it. So let's move on. So it says the second part of this is at the bottom of the file called ReactOnRender. So let's do that, and let's pass in our image, and then let's pass in the same argument like we always pass in: element by ID, and then app. Okay, and then let's run that. See if this works. We can move on. Okay, it's firing up. Let's see if that does it. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. ReactOn. Let's run that one more time. Hopefully this should get it. Get element by ID, ReactOn.render. Let's watch it fire. We should see our image based on the result of the coin toss. Cool. Let's move on. Next, there's a more compact way to write conditionals in JSX, the ternary operator. Okay, so I'll explain that. This is how you might use it. Okay, so you just wrap it all in that if block. Okay, let's try it out. Take a look at app.js. On lines 14, replace x, y, and z with the following three expressions. You have to decide which is x, which is y, and which is z. Okay, so we can say this will be our conditional coin toss. Go to heads. That's our if statement, and then we could do let's see. I guess I can pick either one. Doggy, and then kitty. I don't think it matters. Head should return kitty. Oh, sorry. Head should return kitty, and then tail should return a doggy. Okay, so let's try that out. So here's our condition, which is just saying coin toss. You know, if it's true, return heads. If not, or if it's true, return kitty. If false, return doggy. So pretty easy. We're going to cover one final way of writing conditionals in React, the AND operator, or double AND. Like the ternary operator, double AND % is not React specific, but it shows up in React surprisingly often. Okay, so more conditions. You've been building a React website all about your favorite foods. You're excited to share your website with your friends, yet at the same time you fear the cruel, icy harshness of the judgment. On line 13, use the AND operator to make it so that this expression will only appear if not judgmental. Line 13, if not judgmental. Okay, so let's see. Line 13, so we can do not, what is it, judgmental. And then let's see. May appear. Refresh till you see both versions. So it looks like wrap the rest of it in right there. So let's try it out. It's kind of weird coming from Angular and seeing that. Let's make sure this works. Should come after the AND operator. What does it say? It says use the AND operator so that this expression, if not judgmental. Oh, so it looks like that's what you do. So this is like another if condition. Not judgmental should become before the AND operator. I'm pretty sure it does. Judgmental. There we go. Spelled it wrong. Hopefully that fixes it. Cool. Let's move on. The array method .map. .map is a functional programming term. Comes up often in React. It's good to get in the habit of using it alongside JSX. If you want to create a list of JSX elements, then .map is often your best bet. It can look odd at first. Above example, we start out with an array of strings. We call .map on this array of strings, and the map calls returns a new array of LIs. On the last line of the example, note that list items will evaluate to an array because it's the return value of .map. JSX LIs don't have to be in an array like this, but they can be. So it looks like two versions are both the same. You can see, okay, so instructions. You can see that .map call is partially set up. On line 8, write a return statement. Okay. What are we doing with this return statement? We are doing return li containing the person parameter. So say li, and then it looks like in here we'll put person. So the syntax, let me look. So we're just going to return a person array. So let's try that out. Make sure this works. Okay, cool. On line 12, ReactOnRender. I'm guessing we're going to render the person. Write a first argument, write a UL. In between, use curly braces to inject the people LIs variable. So we'll say people LIs, and then we'll do document.get element by ID, and we'll do the app. So cool, let's render that out. Make sure it works. Nice. Okay, 14. When you make a list in JSX, sometimes your list will need to include something called keys. So another directive, key value pair. Not all lists need to have keys. This is memory. On line 8, give your li a key attribute. So say key equals, what are we going to say it? Which in this case, the answer is surprisingly tricky. .map is going to loop over your return statement. On line 8, creating a new li with a new key attribute, you need every key to be unique. How can you get .map to produce? First, add an I parameter so that you can access. So this is going to be the index, I'm guessing. Now you can get a unique key on each loop by adding this attribute to your li. So we'll say key equals person, and then what do we need to do next? Plus I. Okay, let's run that. I don't think that's that confusing, to be honest, but maybe. Make sure this works. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Man, this is slow. It says it's connected. Okay. Alright, let me just refresh this because this is taking forever. Let's load this again. And let's try and just run this again. I don't know why it's going so slow. Person plus I. Didn't I do that? It's double. Key equals, oh, that's why, my bad. Didn't need quotes after the key. That should be good. Cool. Okay, 15, you can write React code without using JSX at all. The majority of React programmers do use JSX, and we'll use it for the remainder of this tutorial, but you should understand that it's possible to write it without it. Without JSX like this. So you can create the element h1 null hello world. Okay. This is an app.js. Create the above element without using JSX. Okay, so it looks like we can do IAM_div. So we can do var greatest diver. Oh, greatest diver. It's kind of weird. Equals react dot create element. Oh, never mind. I already have it laid out. So we can just say I guess just div null and okay, so it looks like the first parameter is what you want to give it. Second is null, and third is the text. IAM_div. Let's run this, make sure this works. Okay, cool. Congratulations, you've completed this unit. Nice, guys. So it says you're now ready to put your JSX knowledge to use. It's time to move on to the next major topic, React components. So, cool. Let's move on. Just finish that. So let's go to the next one. And looks like we just finished that. I don't know why it's. Let's see what it's complaining about. 15, already did that. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. So we're gonna move on now to what the heck? That's frustrating. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to 15. Create element. I already created it. Let me run it one more time. Pretty sure I already did this. So okay. What the heck? Okay. Alright. Why it's not letting me move on. Okay, here we go. So you have to do it when you first get it. Okay, so let's start this. So we're gonna React applications are made out of components. What's a component? A component is a small reusable chunk of code that is responsible for one job. Okay, so this basically shows what we've been doing the whole time. Just creating classes, and it creates methods on them. Carefully copy the example code into app.js. Alright, let's copy this into here. Let's run it. Hopefully that passes the test. Okay, cool, let's move on. Ooh, your first React component. Take a look at the code on line 1. Returns JavaScript object. This object contains methods that you need in order to use React. React.create element. Select new.js on line 1. Var React equals require. I think it's like that, right? That's what it is. Lowercase. Okay, require React. And we'll save it in a variable called React. So we're just going to build out our component step by step, it looks like. Cool. Let's move on. 3. Require the React DOM. Select new.js. Import the React DOM library. So we'll say var React DOM equals require React DOM. Is that how they have it? Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we're just building up to our component. I'm guessing the next lesson we'll do it. So for React component, small reusable chunk of code that is responsible for one job. React.createClass is a method. Select new.js, skip line 3 on line 4. Create a component by calling React.createClass. Okay. Don't pass any arguments yet. Okay, man, they really like to have you do one small thing each time. Alright, that's okay. 5. Good. Calling React.createClass is the way to make a new component class. Okay. Must begin with capital letters. Okay. Select new.js. Store the result of React.createClass in a variable called my component class. Okay. Let's run that. Okay, that should work. It's an upper camel case. All right. Okay, so we've required React, required the DOM. We've run React.createClass. So here's a method. Select new.js. Store the results. Okay, I'm pretty sure we've already done that. Seems like this is a repeat lesson. It's kind of weird. All right. Let's talk about the instructions that you pass to React.createClass. Okay, so it's object with methods on it. It's pretty straightforward. Select new.js, make some new lines in between React DOM and var component class. In this new space, declare a variable called component blueprint, and we'll set it variable equal to an empty object literal. Okay, let's run that. Oh, sorry, I need to call that the right name. And then what does it say? Add a property to your blueprint object. This property should have a value of render. And it's just a function. So cool. Make sure that works. This is like our public API that exposes our methods. Cool. Now let's fill out that render function. Inside of the render function's body, write a return statement that returns the JSX expression hello world. Okay, so h1 hello world. Make sure that works. I guess we're just gonna render the component blueprint. Okay, pass component blueprint to React.createClass. Okay, as an argument. Okay, that looks like it makes sense. Let's make sure this works. Not to create this class. All right. So, one at the bottom of new.js, delete component blueprint from between the parentheses. Carefully cut the object shape in component blueprint. Okay, when you're done, should be left with. Okay, so it looks like take that out, come back up here, and make sure, put that in there, and then what else do we need? Alright, I think that's it for that. Just brought it out. Oh, I gotta delete this. Alright. So this should work. Hopefully. What error is it giving me? Create class. Class equals React. Pretty sure that's what I have, but let me. Okay. Not sure why it's not working. Alright, cool. My component class is now a working component class. It is ready to follow its instructions. It's ready to follow its instruction to object and make some React components. Only takes one more line. My component class at the bottom of new.js. Create an instance of my component class. So we'll just say my component class. Let's run that. All right, cool. You have learned that React.create class must be passed an instructions object like this one, so it has its methods on it. You haven't learned why that object is a set of instructions. It doesn't look like instructions. How does it work? Okay, so it looks like we can now render it to the DOM, and we should see it calls its render method. Okay, so select new.js, render my component class, DOM.render. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll do React DOM.render. Pass it my component class. We'll pass it document.get element by ID app. Close that off. Run this, and we should see hello world in the browser. Let's make sure. Make sure you start a new line with React DOM.render. Why do I need to do that? I don't really understand that, but okay. Alright. Let's see if that works. What the heck? Every time, man. This thing is like so strict with your syntax. Let's see if that works. Alright, cool. Just finished creating our first React component. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Our next tutorial will be on looks like components in advanced JSX. Let's go back and look at what is actually up next. Looks like what we have next is components in advanced JSX, and then we have looks like we have a few more after that. So pretty cool. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe, and always appreciate the feedback. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Have a great day.